got another episode coming at you today. Today we're doing a little work on the pontoons. We're trying to patch some holes up. I had the spool gun on the welder set up here. I'll show you my rig. We have a Miller-Matic 180 auto set. We got this Spoolmate 100 series. That's what we were trying to patch some of the holes that we had in the pontoons up, and that's not very successful. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be, and I think it's better for like thicker plate aluminum or just thicker material than on a pontoon tube. So today we're going to go to try some Aluma Weld that we picked up from Harbor Freight. It's just a low temperature kind of welding rod that you just use a torch, kind of like brazing or soldering almost, but it's supposed to bond to the metal very well and plug all these little pinholes. So I'll show you my rig that I'm using for finding the holes, and then kind of show you some clips of me trying to get this thing airtight. Well, here you can see I got one of the pontoons pulled off the front. Well, off the whole thing actually. Just pulled out the bolts and left the rest of the crane rig up here and framework. I had to prop up the motor mounts, of course. I got the foam blocks under there, then I got some wood just kind of keeping it while we're doing some work. And today we're going to try to get after some of these little pontoon leaks that we have on these outer pontoons. So here is my pressure testing rig. I've got a regulator set up. This is red hoses coming from the air compressor, shop air. Here's my pressure regulator, and then this little green hose I made up that goes into just a pipe fitting that's in the bottom of this pontoon. You don't want to put very much pressure in these things. They're not air compressor vessels or anything, so just a couple psi at most. But this, you won't even see the register on the gauge, but you can hear the air flowing. And then what I got is just a spray bottle of soapy water, and get you out of the sunlight here, but kind of go around, check for leaks. Here you can see this is a pretty big leak where somebody put some epoxy over that and just blows it right out. Some other ones here in one of these anchor welds is a pretty darn big leak too, so it's really blowing it out. Let's see, this thing's kind of riddled with them, so see if I can find one that's a good example. Here's some, well, there you go. Look how beautiful this weld. We tried doing these with the spool gun and just had so much trouble with the old, the old aluminum. Couldn't get it clean enough, and some of the stuff we got some good welds on just for structure, to keep them. Keep these brackets on, we went over them. So structurally they're okay, but they have a bunch of little pinholes. So here's the Aluma Weld rods. I got these from Harbor Freight. Low temperature working. It says about 730 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's supposed to be stronger than the parent metal. So I've just been using my little torch setup here. And it seemed to be working all right. And then I'd let it, here's my little map gas torch rig. Well, so I tried the Aluma weld rod on some of the pontoons, and it just seemed like no matter how much I tried, I just could not get them to stop leaking. You kind of always have little leaks behind what you just patched over. So maybe somebody here has some good ideas how to get that to work a little bit better. You know, you try heating the surface and almost draw the rod into it, kind of like you're soldering or sweating pipes or something like that, but just didn't really seem to work that great for me. So if you got any tips or something, send them my way. Or if you have a product that you think would do a good job at patching up pontoons, at epoxy or a sealer or some kind of, you know, it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work, you know. And if I had to patch it up, you know, once a year or once every other year, that'd be great. Not a real big deal. I'm thinking we're gonna fill these with foam anyways, just to have that extra security. But if you got any ideas, send them my way. It was good for like kind of joining two little small pockets or filling real tiny holes. But then it seemed like if it was too big of an area, kind of in a flexible joint, that you could almost peel the weld right off of it, or peel the rod material right off of it. So not really a great option for what we got going on, because these do flex a little bit. So next process, back to the drawing board with that one. Either going to try to get somebody to TIG them up for us, or possibly you know, just get that Aluma weld to work, or maybe some epoxy, just little fine pinholes, so it's not that big of a deal. But and I'm really leaning toward putting some foam in these outer two pontoons, just because of the amount of holes in them. You can see they've been patched a few times from the previous owners. There's at least 3 patches on this one, so it's kind of a big pain in the rear to get these to stop leaking, but we're gonna give it a shot. I wanted to show you guys some tools too that we've been using. So if you got a project, you know, a pontoon boat, any big project for your welding and everything, this is kind of what we got here. This is a Miller-Matic 180 auto set MIG welder, and we're actually borrowing this. But it's this is what we've got our aluminum spool gun set up. So pretty nice rig. I just picked up this, I don't know, a couple months ago, titanium unlimited 200. This does MIG, stick, and TIG, and so far I've only really MIG'd with it. But this is a Harbor Freight brand, I guess. But it's surprisingly good, like really good. From, you know, this is what I used to weld up the whole framework support that's holding the crane, and I'm super impressed with it. And then we got another big old oxyacetylene torch kit set up here. So you know, some of those things you might need if you're doing projects like this, where you got a lot of welding, a lot of cutting. Just thought I'd throw those out there and see curious what you guys are using, and kind of wanted to show what I'm using, just in case somebody wanted some info on how we do what we do. So here we're walking back here. Wanted to do a quick little update too on the trailer that you guys are, I'm sure you've had enough of, but give you a quick rundown here. Walking out to out here in the back 40. Here we got some new chains. Got that done. Got our pin set up, and then I just threw some primer on the deck to get that kind of protected from the elements. We've had a little bit of rain and snow mix, so I wanted to get that done so that when we throw our coat of paint on there, we'll have that all nice and ready to go. If anybody's looking for a nice Northwoods fence, hit me up. It's a one owner, you know, it's only driven to the grocery store on Sundays by a little old lady. Super nice quality. Hit me up. And here's the beautiful horse trailer, or actually cattle trailer, that we pulled the gooseneck off for our trailer. So if anybody's looking for one of these, this is another one owner trailer. It was only used for hauling race horses, and I'm pretty sure the Budweiser Clydesdales used to ride in this thing. So if you guys are looking for something super nice, just let me know. Yeah, and it also comes with a whole bunch of like high quality boat parts that you just can't get anywhere else. Pretty sure that's a collector's.